So before I even say a single word about how important a capo is, watch this. So the capo on guitar is one of the most important things you can use, and I'm going to assume you're watching this video because you're not familiar with it, or you want to learn how to properly use one. So the capo, a C-A-P-O, is this little doohickey. They can look different, but these are the kind that I like, and what they do is they just get clipped directly onto the neck of your guitar so that you can play in different keys without relearning the song. This is really cool because if you learn how to play a song with simple G shapes or G chords, so G, C, D, whatever, now you can play that same exact song in a different key using the same chords, but you're using the capo to change the key. It is a quick and easy way to transpose a song. So how does it work? What does a capo actually do? And what it's doing is it raises the pitch of all of your strings together. So this right here, this is the nut of the guitar. Some people call it the 0 fret. So when you use a capo, you are essentially moving this nut so that what you play is the same, but it sounds like it's in a different key. Each fret you move the capo goes up one semitone or a half step, depending upon how you look at it. So you keep and play the same chord shapes that you might have already learned, but the capo transposes the key and changes it for you. If you need more help with that, I'll show you how to do that in just a second, but first I want to show you an example. If we're playing a song in the key of G, which most people are familiar with, and if we play a G, C, and then D, we can play those exact same 3 chords, but if we capo on the 3rd fret, we are now playing in B flat instead of G. This is super helpful specifically if you're playing worship music or at a church, because you'll be playing in the key of B flat quite a bit. So if we take the exact same chord shapes, I'm not going to play anything different. If we take the G, C, and D, so what you're playing, the shape you're playing is exactly the same, but the chord that you're producing is different or transposed. This is cool. This is a cheat code for you to use because you can learn the song simply in the key of G or C or E or whatever shapes you're more comfortable with, and then just move the capo to play it in a different key. So now that you know what a capo does, how do you know where to put it? Well, this is going to take just a little bit of music theory, but I'm going to keep the key of G as an example. If you play a G chord, or you're playing a song in the key of G and that is too low for you and you need to bring it up to match what you're singing or what someone else is singing. So you're going to need just a little bit of music theory. So if you know the root notes of your low E string, which are F, G, A, B, C, D, E, you know that if this is your G, the next full step up would be A. So if you're needing to play your G shapes in the key of A is 2 frets higher than G. So what you would do, remember this is your 0 nut and you're moving your 0 nut, you would capo up 2 frets. Now, you are playing in the key of A, but you're using G shapes and you're just capoed on the 2nd fret. If you need to go just a little bit higher and you're still following along on your low E string, what's after A? A half step up would be B flat. The full step up would be B. So just like I went over at the beginning, if you capo on the 3rd fret and play your G shape, you are now playing in the key of B flat, and that's determined upon which fret you put your capo on. Another really common place you might be playing in is if you capo on the 1st fret and you play D shapes, you're playing easy D shapes, but you're transposed to the key of E flat. So even though you're playing your easy D shapes that most guitar players know how to play, the sound you're producing, the key of the song that you're playing will be in E flat. So why would you use a capo in the first place? Well, it helps you fit your song to your vocal range. It helps you avoid bar chords if those are hard for you, and you can just play in a different area of the neck so the song feels differently even if you're playing similar things. The next thing I want to show you is something that I found to be super helpful, and it's not a sponsor, but it's an app that I use all of the time to help you transpose, and it looks like this. I'm going to put a screen recording of what I'm doing on the screen right here. So if you're reading a chord chart in the key of B flat, but you're playing G shapes, which is something you might be doing often, you need to transpose those chords from a B flat to a G, from an E flat to a C. That might be hard for you right now to do off the top of your head. So what you're going to do is you're going to download this app. This app is 2 circles, an inner circle and an outer circle. Because we are playing in the key of G, you're going to match the inner circle G to B flat. So if we're transposing from G to B flat, I'm going to put it like this just so it's easier. You're going to line up the inner circle G to B flat. So now you know anytime on your chord sheet it wants you to play a B flat, because the rest of the band is playing a B flat right there, but you're capo to the 3rd fret, you can play a G. If it calls for an F chord, but you're capoed, so really you're playing a different chord shape, even though the sound you're producing is an F, you'll see that you would play a D because you're lined up. So the D transposed to B flat is F. A G transposed to B flat is B flat. So this app is just called Transposing Helper, and it's on the App Store. It looks like this. Download that, it's going to help you quite a bit. So all you need to do is count your frets in capo to know where you're moving to. And if you're having a hard time in your brain understanding what chords you're supposed to be playing while looking at your chord chart now that you're capoed, download that app, pull it out, line up your 2 circles, and it'll tell you exactly what chords to play. And it really is that easy. So thank you so much for checking out this quick lesson all about using a capo. If you have any questions, please leave them down below in the comments. I'd love to talk with you. Do me a favor and make sure you are subscribed to the channel and that you like this video, and I'll see you in the very next one.